Hi friends, this side Shanki Tyagi. Today we're going to study about capitalism. It is a part of an economic system. Let's study it. Let's talk about capitalism. What is capitalism? It is the part of an economic system and it is a very crucial part to study. It is a free market economy. That means it is that kind of an economy which is free to think, free to take the decisions, privately owned, where means of productions are privately owned by the private individuals. It is characterized by the private ownership of the means of production. That means private people, private persons are responsible for the means of productions. Individual decision making, wholly and solely being individual is the only person who is responsible for the decisions, and the use of market mechanism. That means demand and supply curve will be a key factor to take decisions to facilitate the flow of goods and services. What you have to produce, how you have to produce, with what manner you have to produce, for whom you have to produce. All these things will be characterized by the market mechanism. Let's talk about characteristics of capitalism. As I've explained to you earlier, it is a private ownership. Private players or the private individuals will play a key role or an important part to form a capitalist economy. Second is limited role of government. Generally, government plays a very small or a limited role. Why? Because they help the people to earn more, to earn better with less kind of restrictions. Third is competition. There is huge competition in these kind of market because it consists of private ownership, and private ownerships are large in number, so it is a kind of a free competitive market. Then fourth point is freedom to save and invest. It is free to save in whatever manner you want to save, and person is free to invest wherever they want to invest because the resources belongs to the owner itself, and he or she is the wholly solely responsible for saving and investing the part of their profits. Then next point is freedom of choice of occupation. That means individual person is free to choose whatever occupation they want to choose. For example, now I'm working or a dealing in a shoe business, and after a few days or few months I think that this business doesn't fits to my organization, or it doesn't fits to my kind of skills. I can switch my business to somebody else, say in gadgets, in some furniture, any kind of business. Next is customer is the king. As it is a competitive market, customer is the king. Producers has to produce those products which are customized or as per the needs of the customers. Now let's talk about what are the merits of capitalism. Merit is rapid economic growth. Obviously, rate of economic growth is higher. Why? Because everybody is responsible for their own profits and they are earning themselves. They are not dependent on anybody else. And when they are not dependent, they are earning themselves. They are responsible for their profits and they'll use resources in a much more efficient manner. Second is innovation. Why? Because it is in a customer oriented market, so they will tend to improve or innovate different things so that customers will restrict to their product, and customers when restrict to their product, their earning, their ratios of revenues will increase. Incentive is an extra part. If they are working for their own self. If they are working 24 into 7, they'll earn more. They earn for themselves. Next is efficient utilization of resources. When resources belongs to a single person whose business is required, that person is responsible for the utilization of resources. Why? Because they want that resources should be fully utilized rather than wastage of resources. Then flexibility and adaptability. It is free to choose whatever things you want to choose in manner of adaptability and flexibility. If I want to convert my proceedings, my business, my anything towards anything else, I would be ready to, in a flexible mode, to switch over to something else. Now let's talk about what is demerits of capitalism. Obviously, it is a kind of a social waste. Social waste in the sense because there is a huge competition, and in tens of competition, people try to waste their resources. They try to use kind of an those practices which are not fair, and lost social discrimination. Social discrimination is that the person who is poor becomes more poor and who is richer become more richer, and richers will try to exploit the resources of poorer. For a third is loss of human values. In order to earn more, people used to lose their values. Why? Because they wants to earn more. They practices those kind of policies which are not fair enough. Then rise of monopoly. Rise of monopoly means that when they will start earning more, they'll behave in a monopolist manner that we are the only one in the market. And in order to save those kind of situations, they try to take the advantage of monopoly and charge unfair practices from the customers.